What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you the most dominant way to play offense in Madden 20, the hardest offense to stop that is kind of taking the community by storm over the past week. Something that's a real pain to cover, and I think that really anybody can run if you just put a little bit of time into it. So we're going to get right into that in a second. If you are new to the channel, however, and you always want to stay up to date on the latest Madden updates, news, tips, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon so that you never miss any of the uploads. So what we saw kind of take over, not really take over, but it's going to start spreading soon. But what we saw like really make a big splash at the big club championship Madden tournament was the QB blast offense out of the Saints playbook. Now, the QB blast out of the Panthers playbook, the Panther heavy formation, that has been a big thing all year. But it appears that the Saints playbook version of this is even more powerful just because of how good the Saints playbook is. It's always a top 5 playbook in the game. It's certainly at least a top 3 playbook once again this year. And it was already good before they added the Taysom Hill QB formation, but now this is kind of taking it to another level. So we saw a couple guys this week. We saw Joke and we saw Scheming both come out with this offense, and the key focal point of it is the QB blast. Now, this formation in itself isn't the greatest formation. It does present a little bit of a passing threat. You obviously have 4 verticals and things like that. If you have a receiver that gets extra routes, then you can get more creative with it. But the QB blast in itself is so good. But what makes the offense good is because you can audible to so many different things. So the QB blast in itself is probably, I would say, one of the hardest things to stop. You could argue that the stretch runs in general are probably still the hardest thing to stop, just because in certain playbooks there's just so many of them, and you can audible to different ones, and it's hard to stop every single one with the exact same defense. Obviously, stretches are hard to stop. I think QB blast might even be a little bit harder to stop, because if you practice with this, if you get it down a little bit, I'm not the greatest at it. This isn't my type of offense per se, but if you get good with this, it's really hard to lose yards. So even on those plays where you might only get a couple yards or you might only get 3 yards, you're still moving the ball forward. And if you run a QB blast 4 times in a row, there's a very good chance you're going to pick up a first down. There's a very good chance you're going to break one for a huge gain or even a touchdown, especially with a guy like Lamar Jackson. So that is kind of what, this is the play that it's your big play potential. It's also the thing the defense has to sell out to stop, but it's also, it's something that scares people because they don't really know what to do versus it. Because you could take it, up the middle, right there, we got about 4.5, 5 yards. And that's great. If you're getting 4 to 5 yards a play, if that's your worst case, you're going to consistently make first downs. But a lot of times, you're going to bust a huge run. And if you're only getting 4 to 5, even if you're only getting 3 on certain runs, it's not the worst thing in the world because you have so much other stuff at your disposal. Then you can break it outside, and the blocking usually holds up well. And you see that time we picked up about 12 yards with it. And there's no real big secret to it. It's really easy to run. Like I said, I'm not the best with it. Like, I don't have the best stick. And I mean, look, breaking this one to the outside is what makes it so dangerous. The one in the Panthers playbook, you can break it outside, but because it's a compressed formation, it's a tight formation, you don't have those blockers setting up as nicely for you on the outside. Now, if you want, you could throw like an extra tight end on the outside here for even better blocking. And, I mean, that makes it even greater. But look how, like, Willie Snead's just holding that block on Richard Sherman. And I think Richard Sherman probably has decent block shed for a corner. And he's holding that block all day. But so you have to worry about defending the outside. You got to defend it up the middle. And it's like, I want to show you what I did right there in this one clip. And this is just one play. I'm not even really getting into the other stuff yet. I want to show you just kind of briefly what I did, because there's little subtle things you can do here because the pursuit is so bad in Madden 20. I know I want to go to the left here, but you see what I do is I kind of start out to the right. I kind of move him right a little bit, and you see right here this linebacker. I believe that's Fred Warner. Because I go to the right just a little bit, it makes him go to the right, and then I just cut this back left. And you see, I picked up about 6, almost 7 yards, whereas if I would have just ran straight through that hole, maybe I only get 2, 3, maybe he meets me in that hole. But this way, I go right, I make him bite, and then I try to go this way. Now, in some cases, Mark Ingram, the running back, would actually go through that left hole too, and he'll go pick up that safety, and then we could have been out for a touchdown. Now, obviously, you want a guy like Lamar Jackson to run this with. If you're an Ultimate Team, Michael Vick, guys like that are good with it as well. Lamar Jackson's by far the best just because he's the fastest. Any QB that can get fast break is going to be better because it gives them that little bit of a boost on design QB run plays where, they kind of get that like quick like acceleration boost, and it kind of, I don't like the ability because it kind of delays the defense like a half step too. That's why it's so powerful. But the thing here is, like, you see every time we run it there, and that was our worst case scenario. We got like 1.5 yards, worst case scenario. And then of course it's like, you know, you can flip it and go the other way. Like, you can get them, let them set up their entire defense, flip the run, you know, then you're going this way. And the thing with this run is that, you know, in practice mode, you might not break them for touchdowns a lot, but in game, if you watch the tournament this weekend, or if you watch anybody else run this, you break touchdowns with this all day, because all it takes is one bad pursuit. You get to the second level with a guy like Lamar, and you're gone. They can't catch you. Now, again, a guy with fast breaks is going to be better with this. If you use just a regular fast QB like Kyler Murray and Regs, you know, it's okay, but it's not going to be as good as it is with a fast break QB. But now, here's the thing. So, you have to really sell out to stop this. You got to put a lot of guys in the box. Again, you can still pass out of this. You can go 4 verticals, and let's say, you know, if you're an ultimate team, maybe you got your guy in the slot RB, you got a guy there that gets extra routes, so you can put him on a post, or, you know, you can change things up. But it's just the fact that, yes, you can pass out of this. So they might set up, you know, to stop the run. You can still mix in a pass out of it. If you have a fast QB, you still have that ability to scramble, you know, from pass. But what makes it crazy is all the stuff you can audible to. So you can audible to gun, offset, tight end. One of the best formations in the game, specifically the play Y out, halfback swing. Now, I broke down this play on the channel. I'll actually link it below, because this is, without a doubt, a top 5 play in the game, because the corner route to Y is so good. So they got to worry about stopping QB blast up the middle, QB blast to the outside. Then you can audible to this. You pretty much almost always have to manually guard that corner, especially if you got an escape artist QB and you can roll out. So, like, what you want to do is, if you want to roll out, hit the corner, it makes them very hard for the computer to defend. So you want to double team, you know, the guy on the outside. If they're blitzing, you want to try to pick up that blitzer and be able to roll out. You know, you can put A on a hitch, have a check down, whatever you want to do. You can do, you know, dual drags if you want, leave the post there in case it's like a cover 2 where they come down with the safety. But your thing is, you're rolling out, and then now you got a corner route. Now, he just threw a horrible ball there, but you could see the corner route was wide open. We'll go right back to it. If you do have those QBs, like, that don't have any of the, like, throw on the run abilities, they can, you know, if you're on the run, they can, you know, sail a ball every now and then. But usually, the most part, you know, they get it in there. So you see, I mean, again, he's just throwing horrible passes, but you see that the corner route's open. I'll just set my feet this time. Usually, like I said, in game, yes, if you don't have like a dashing deadeye ability, they will sail the ball every now and then. But usually, they pretty consistently get it there. Try to set my feet a little bit here. So, you know, threw it in there. If it would have gave me the good throw, it's a lot easier to make the play. But you see, like, that's a corner they have to worry about you manually defending. You got dual drags underneath. You got posts, right? And then you can go audible in the gun bunch. One of the best formations in the game. Now, the Saints gun bunch isn't the greatest in the world, but it has a few good plays in it. So you can audible to that. You know, make them have to defend gun bunch. You know, with your motion wheel route. If it's like cover 0 man, that's a touchdown. You know, you got your drag underneath, you got your crossing route, whatever. They got to worry about all that. But when you have to sell out to stop QB blast, it makes it so much harder to guard all this other stuff. I mean, other things you can do, we saw Scheming do is he would go to 5 wide sometimes even, which was really good. I like the Saints fork play in the empty Y Saint. Now you have a corner route on the right side, and that's another really good corner route. So, like here, you know, I would maybe take Mark Ingram, put him on a drag, just have like kind of a check down over the middle, or maybe an in route. And again, if I got my escape artist QB, I'm going to double team the defensive end on the right. I'm going to try to roll out, hit that corner. If it's not there, you got 2 posts on this play that are good, especially against all types of zone coverages. You got a check down. You got all that good stuff. So again, I'm rolling out here, and then I can hit that corner route there. So you got corner route left, you got corner route right, you got QB blast. You can even audible to, like, they have a like a jet sweep and a 5 wide. So if you go over, you audible to, let's see, where is it at? There is a jet sweep somewhere in here. Yeah, in the gun empty trio, you got the jet touch pass. So now your running back's going to be the guy on the jet touch pass. So again, if you're like an ultimate team and you got one of those really good running backs like Barry Sanders, Eric Dickerson, guys that have jukebox on them and stuff like that, now that guy's your jet touch pass receiver. He's getting the ball, you're going upfield. Our blocking wasn't great there, but you could see, like, that's just another wrinkle that they have to defend. You can audible into another really good formation, the pistol bunch tight end. Got a couple good plays in there. Cross drag, you got verticals, you got, you know, decent run plays in there. So it's like all of this stuff they have to worry about defending And they have to do this out of one play. And that's what makes the New Orleans Saints playbook so good. It was already good, but because the QB blast has kind of like, people have figured out that, hey, this QB blast is actually, you know, really good. You know, now people have, you have to sell out to stop it, like I said. And the main thing you're going to want to do to try to stop it is you kind of have to go to 3-4, I think, to consistently stop the QB blast. It's going to be very hard to stop it without going to like a 3-4, but then once they do that and they're putting all those bodies in the box, then like I said, that's when you audible to gun offset tight end, and you got the corner routes and post routes, or you can audible to gun bunch, or you audible to the 5 wide and completely spread them out. They come out 3-4, put everybody in the box, then you completely go to 5 wide and spread them out. Another thing that's like really good too, so like if you're on with a gun bunch, for example, there's a play with a deep post in it, so we'll audible to that. Obviously, you're going to want to set your audibles up pre-game. You got flanker drive. And you see just how quick you can get in the gun bunch, too. Like, the audible is really quick. So, like, if you know they're running cover 3, you know, you can even cover 3 bomb them. You want to have the bunch on the short side of the field to do this. But, like, you can block the tight end, motion out B, put him on a comeback. And then the RB, I mean, you can leave the deep end over the middle just to kind of, you know, give the user something to look at. You know, if they're blitzing you, obviously, you could put them on a hitch to have a quick read. Whatever the case, but again, you could try to roll out, and against a lot of cover 3s, you're going to be able to bomb this for a touchdown. So, like, you roll out, let the post clear, and then there you go, one play touchdown. So there's just so much you can do in this playbook, but with this, it's really all based off the strength of that QB blast. All these other plays were already great, but now when you can hit them, you know, with a QB blast and have to make them respect it, or else you're going to get 4 to 5 yards of pop and you're going to break long ones. It's a nightmare to defend, and it's, you know, that's the type of stuff you should really be taking advantage of this year. They put so many new plays in the game. They've made it to where, you know, you can really make an opponent have to worry about 10 different things with one defensive set. You can really audible and create nightmares for people. So right now, I think this is one of the best offenses in the game, if not the best, just of the potential that it has in the right hands. And we saw a couple guys, both guys that ran this made it to the Final Four of the biggest event of the year. Now, both of them did lose in the Final Four, but the fact that they made it to the Final Four shows you just how good this is, and they were doing it with limited rosters. They were playing salary cap. So if you have like a mutt team and you can put the best players everywhere, it gets even crazier. So definitely something to look into. I think this really makes the Saints playbook, you know, even better than it already was. So just wanted to kind of bring this to you guys on the channel and just give you my insight on it. So hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, as always, you know the drill. Just like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.